Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kia Simone, and I know we're not in our normal space. We're actually across the hall, and I'll tell y'all why. First of all, Happy New Year! I ain't seen y'all all year. I'm so excited to see y'all. So the reason we's across the hall is because I got a lot to do, right? I had reviews to do. I got a bunch of reviews. I owe y'all. I know. I'm working on it. I'm coming. Just follow me. But I also got stuff that I need to get done around my house. I ain't got no man. I ain't complaining about that. I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying it's one of me and a lot of stuff to do. And I said, you know what? We're going to have to knock out a few birds with this one stone. I'm the only stone I got. We're going to have to knock as many birds as we can. So the main reason we in here, I got a shelf I got to put together, kind of just like the shelf that's behind me. This shelf, the pieces been sitting up against this wall for at least 6 months. I'm probably just being nice to myself by saying 6 months. But I said, you know what? We're going to have to put this together, and maybe that'll actually help me get through these reviews, because, you know, I don't know if it's a little ADHD. I'm having very much an Amanda Seals moment, okay, because ain't nobody diagnosed me with shit, and I ain't quite claiming it, but I'm just saying, I done read a couple articles here and then. I'm like, you know what, that explains that this, and that. Do I got that shit? Sometimes I'm watching these shows, trying to do these reviews, and I feel like a first grader that is just fucking losing it. And part of it is I'm bored with these shows. And I gotta do something else. You know, we have to do other things. And I'm gonna do other things in regard to content. That's a me thing. That's, you know, me and God working on that. That's anyway. I figure, you know what? Maybe if I put my shelf together and my chair that I got 6 months ago and my fire pit that I got 2 years ago. Just if I finish putting some stuff together while I'm watching the show, while I'm doing the review, I might be able to get through this and not feel like I'm just dragging myself through. Because, you know, I think that's part of what I realized changed for me in terms of doing these reviews is I'm not as passionate about it as I once was. Like when I first started doing them, even with the contention that came with Love and Marriage Huntsville, I had much more passion. I was really into it. I'm like watching this shit and I'm taken aback and I'm offended. But now sometimes watching these shows, it's so poorly produced. It's like dragging yourself across hot coals trying to review it. But you know, I got a job to do, so I do it. So here I am in this closet workout room, but it ain't quite a closet. It's just a bunch of excess stuff. And then I also, it's supposed to be a workout room, but we gonna work on that this year. Just let's get into it. Before we do, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let me break that down real quick, since this is a new year, you know, and I'm chit-chatting anyway. Let me tell you why I be asking y'all to do that. Because when you like, share, comment, subscribe, any kind of interaction helps me with the algorithm. Because, you know, this ain't nothing but a big formula. So if you like it, what it thinks is, you know what? The people you like might like what you like. So I'm going to suggest it out to some other people. Please, please help me grow. I'm not asking you for much. Just like, share, comment, and if you're feeling a little razzle-dazzle, subscribe. Thank you so much. So I owe y'all about 3 episodes, but they ain't got a whole lot going on. Contessa around, they about to whoop Heavenly. Heavenly done let her mouth write a check. Her can cash. She around there screaming for security, then cursing security out and dragging them all over the damn internet, and you wonder why they wouldn't come when you called them. So episode 4 is where we left off, and the last 2 to 3 episodes is them on this girls' trip. They're on a vacation at some dude ranch in Florida, I think. They're doing horseback riding and photo shoots and all that bullshit. Well, episode 4 basically starts out with them traveling to and arriving at their vacation spot. They get there, and the first thing Toya got to do is secure her damn job. She's in there trying to start shit with Phaedra as soon as they sit down. She is wanting to know what makes Phaedra tick, and Phaedra is like, why? What in the trauma bond hell is you asking me? What do you mean what makes me tick? And Toya is talking about, well, we're a very tight-knit group of women, and in this group, we share a lot of our personal business, so it makes us uncomfortable. It makes us feel a way when someone doesn't want to share their personal business with us. Toya, go tell your personal business to a therapist in hell. Like, Toya gets on my damn nerves. What rational, normal, not looking to be the damn devil in your life kind of person would ask you, so, tell me, what is it that bothers you? I mean, something must upset you. What is it? Phaedra kept asking her, why you want to know some shit like that? Heavenly said, so she can do it to you? Exactly. Toya is so threatened by any woman who has developed herself beyond centering a damn man that it's not even funny. I don't mean no harm. But what Toya essentially did with her life is become some man's wife and try to maximize that. And she's done a great job with that. But it hits different when a woman is successful in her own right. Because Phaedra has been married and she has the children. And the thing is, she's not defined by any of that. Phaedra is who she is in her own right. And that's what threatens Toya. Like, Toya gets on my motherfucking nerves. And why are we pretending that this ain't some Marshawn Lynch type shit? Like, I'm trying to get back on TV and I'm just here so I don't get fined. Like, for Phaedra, I don't think her whole goal is to pretend that she is or even to become a core member of their group. I'm trying to get my damn job back. This is my foot in the door. Now, if I got to come here and I got to, rub some shoulders and elbows and I got to play along with you ladies, okay, I'll do that. But tell y'all all my damn business in the process? I don't think so. And then Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie have a side conversation about the whole thing about whether they think Phaedra is being closed off and whether she should open up and yada, yada, yada. And Dr. Jackie is saying something in the confessional about Phaedra herself said that she feels like if she had been in this group instead of the group that she was originally in, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, that maybe her marriage would have survived. And that this is a very close group of friends that are very supportive, but you have to be willing to open up and tell us what's going on so that we can help you. Well, my thing is, first of all, she's divorced at this point, so how much help are y'all gonna offer? It just gives bare all of your scars. My thing is, if you met any other person, just a random person, say you're at a function and you meet a professional peer of some sort, would you, in getting to know that person, say, so, tell me what makes you tick. Tell me everything you've been through. No, you meet them from where you meet them at. This is the bus stop we met at. You didn't meet me at the taxi stand way back there. You don't need to know what happened between the taxi stand and the bus stop unless I choose to confide that in you. But to say the only way we can really build a bond is if you tell me how many times you got your ass whooped between the taxi stand and the bus stop, then this is a friendship we don't need. So then we move on and we see all the ladies getting together at some saloon type of bar that they have at this place that they have Miss Vacation at. Well, Toya got all the doctors together telling them how boring they are. Here's my thing, Toya. While you over there telling them how boring they are, the girls who are the fun girls, the party girls, you always starting shit with. Like, do you not see that you the problem? Now, in the same conversation, they start rehashing that Sweet Tea feels like she's owed an apology by Dr. Heavenly. Heavenly said, well, you know what? I apologize because I do have remorse. I apologize for some of the things I said, but I hope that you are as apologetic as you expect me to be. Sweet Tea ain't offer a sip of accountability or apology. She said you were hella disrespectful to me. Maybe you lonely. I don't know what your problem is, girl. Now, just as it's getting ready to go left, Quad and Phaedra come prancing in. Sweet Tea says in the confessional, I was so happy to see Quad. I ain't never been so happy to see Quad. I mean, I guess she is good for something. Now see, when Quad get to dragging you for every damn thing you worth, I don't want to hear shit because you always coming for that damn lady unprovoked. So Toya is telling Heavenly, all you had to do was apologize. Heavenly said, I'm sorry. Do you accept my apology or not? I mean, because I'm trying to move on. Sweet Tea said, well, I mean, you're not sincere. Like, girl, Heavenly said, well, you know what? I've apologized. You can accept it or not. Take all the time you need to heal. Sweet Tea says, not that I need time to heal. I just know that stupid is as stupid does. Well, the shit went off the rails after that. You know, maybe it's just me, but this is my thing. And this is just how I live my life. I don't get why people expect apologies from somebody you know is not sorry. And this is not about making Sweet Tea wrong or saying she's wrong to say you're not sincere. Because, I mean, I don't want your fake ass apology either. I get that. But when you know a person meant the shit they did, they meant the shit they said, they are not remorseful, they are not apologetic, they would do that shit again if you give them the opportunity. When you're dealing with that kind of person, when you're dealing with that kind of personality, like, why would you allow them to drag you to hell chasing an apology, chasing sincerity? You don't like me. You said some wild shit out your mouth. You meant it. I don't want your apology, but you also ain't gonna cut my life, my social circle, or my vacation, girl. Fuck you. That's just my approach to it. If you truly believe stupid is as stupid does, if you truly believe this person is miserable and misery loves company, decline every invitation to their party. But of course, Heavenly loves a good showdown, so she showed up. She started telling Sweet Tea by, yeah, you would know stupid. And I ain't apologizing no more. I don't apologize, yada, yada, yada. So Sweet Tea off to the side, like, ooh, that's so ghetto. Oh my God, listen now, huh? Child Heavenly said, you know ghetto, girl. You is trash. Sometimes you got to laugh to keep from calling the NAACP. Like, why is y'all on these people's TV calling each other ghetto and trash as doctors and doctors' wives? I don't know how Contessa got roped into it, but somehow Heavenly is over there asking Contessa about, you know her, you got history with her. Contessa said, yes, I know her. I've met her. I don't have history with her, but I know one thing. She's never hurt me. Oh, Lord, here we go. Heavenly said, this month is on her nerves too, because I apologized this first. And of course, they played the clip and they showed them at that Freaknik Wicknick party. And Heavenly is apologizing to Contessa, but clearly Contessa did not accept that apology. And here we are. And don't get me wrong. I don't feel like anybody has to accept any of Heavenly's apologies, especially if you feel like they're not sincere. I am one person who don't believe in playing along. Like, I'm at a point in my life, I ain't playing along with no damn body. So I get it. And maybe this is just me, because one thing this YouTube thing has done is taken me on a self-actualization journey. Jesus. But I'm just also at a place where I'm not handing over the reins of my energy to anybody. And Heavenly is pretty consistent about who she is. When you see somebody consistently starting shit, consistently talking shit, always in some shit, you know they gonna talk shit to you, about you, your mama, any chance she get. Why would y'all follow her up? Like, why do y'all entertain this shit? Why would you even, she's never hurt me. Oh, before the whole wildfire of an argument spreads any further, Quad proves herself to be good for something else. She says, Sweet Tea, aren't you supposed to be teaching us a line dance? Sweet Tea said, yes, I am. She said, yeah, can we go do that before these bitches line each other up in jail? So they practice their line dance. They learn some steps to invade somebody's trail ride. And they move on to go have dinner around a bonfire and argue some more. So Quad is trying to mediate this beef between Heavenly and Contessa. And she's saying that, y'all used to be as thick as thieves. And when somebody means as much to you as y'all mean to each other, you have to dig deep and really try to fix this kind of thing. Heavenly said, well, I guess she don't mean that much. I don't feel like digging. This mother girl. Heavenly got to cut the shit. If you know that you and this woman were real friends and she shared things with you, she confided things in you in private that you turned around and you exposed to the public, that you know she didn't want discussed publicly, you betrayed her confidence after she confided in you, for you to turn around and take this position of arrogance of, well, some people don't mean that much and I'm not. You better be real careful that you don't find yourself needing somebody that you can confide in that won't turn around and tell all your business. Now, Contessa gonna turn around and try to do that later on in the episode. But I'm just saying, don't be that girl who is so, I got my husband and I got my kids. Because Heavenly did say something along those lines, like, there's only 24 hours in a day and I got a husband and I got kids and I got a career and I don't have time for this kind of stuff. Don't be that girl who is so wrapped up in, I have a husband and I'm this and I'm that you treat other people like shit, because life spares no one. And you don't know when you gonna need a friend. And that's not to say that, your husband ain't, just for anything. You don't know how life is gonna come at you. So be real careful how you treat people. I really think Heavenly does this thing of devaluing and discounting the relationship in order to avoid accountability. Because if we weren't really friends, if it didn't matter that much, then I had no responsibility to protect this friendship. I had no responsibility to protect what you shared with me in confidence. It's an effort to take away the accountability of being a decent person. Even as a woman, friendship, just woman to woman. This woman confided in you and shared things with you privately, bonded with you based on y'all's shared trauma, because I'm sure you got some shit you told her, and there's a reason you can connect with and identify with her. And then you turned around and shared that with the public for profit. Take accountability for that shit. Well, since Heavenly is anything but cooperative, Quad turns her efforts to Contessa. And she's saying to Contessa that, y'all have been friends for a very long time. This group has been together for 10 years. That should mean something to someone. Contessa ain't with the bullshit either. Contessa said, well, if that's the case, then that means you should be able to go fix your issue with Simone. Leave me the fuck alone. Contessa says she'll address the issue with Heavenly in due time, but right now ain't that damn time. Moving on. So they move on to the next day and they're catching up about the night before, and everybody's talking about what beef they got with Heavenly. And Heavenly has now taken the position of telling everyone basically that she is the victim and she is vulnerable and she is afraid of opening her heart back up to Contessa, that, you know, I'm open to a friendship and yes, our friendship meant something to me, but I don't want to open my heart again and I don't want to get hurt again after you just gave that lady your Esther kiss the night before. Like, okay. So they move on to get ready for a photo shoot that Toya has put together that is Cowboy Carter inspired. This girl says at the end of the episode that this gonna be so good that Beyonce is gonna be calling her to direct Beyonce's photo shoots. I said, now why the hell would she be calling you? Because she's so inspired by what you did when what you did was inspired by what she did. Like, what do you be thinking? So we move on, and episode 5 opens up with them doing this photo shoot that Toya has put together. Now, let Toya tell it she is going to be the coveted creative director. But Toya couldn't pull this shit off by herself. She has some lady named Michelle A, who's, I guess, a trans drag performer or something of the sort. I don't know. Listen. I don't know all the right terminologies. I don't mean no harm and no disrespect. Please don't come to me with the bullshit if I said the wrong shit. I don't mean no harm. I said what I know. But she brings in Michelle A, who I guess does performances, and she's supposed to be performing as Beyonce, and she's going to help direct this photo shoot. Toya, how you gonna be the coveted creative director when you stealing ideas and then bringing somebody else in to execute them? Help me. Well, all the ladies give a damn about is we got somebody who know what they doing, because Toya don't know what she doing and run her damn mouth too much. She already on our nerves, so please, come on. Meanwhile, we cut back to Atlanta. We see all the guys at home managing their kids by themselves. We see Cecil at home with his and Simone's sons. He's trying to teach them how to cook and clean, so y'all better especially learn how to cook in case you marry somebody like your mama. You ain't gonna get no damn meals. If you want something to eat, you better learn how to scramble these eggs. Damon is out with his daughter shopping for her apartment because she want to live by herself. She tired of that roommate shit. When I tell you Damon is wrapped all around her finger, and it's just the cutest little thing. Just bless their hearts. Eugene took his sons to make custom colognes and found out the churn thing. He old and fruity. Lord. And then we see Damon and Heavenly's son that's also out shopping with Damon and Laura, and he's talking about going to dental school, and he eventually, in talking to his father, tells his father how he's so inspired by him, and he watches his father and how he interacts with patients and how good he is at his job, and he hopes to be as good a doctor as his father. And now y'all know Damon don't never get emotional, and I've been on Damon and S the last few reviews. I've been on Damon, but Damon broke down. Child, it just touched my heart. Damon said basically that it was the ultimate compliment to hear your child, your son, tell you that I want to be just like you. And I know that in general, that has to mean a lot. But remembering that Damon has the story where I believe his father wasn't in his life, or he didn't know a lot about his father. And I remember Heavenly had to find his father's grave, and she kind of surprised him with all of that. I'm sure that this is a bigger moment than, oh, that's so sweet, my son wants to be like me. I think more than anything, it's almost a reflection of generational growth to say, you know, I started from a place of my father maybe wanting to be there, but not having access or ability to be there as much as he could for me. And I did everything in my power to become the father that I needed. And now I have my son here who is going to dental school, who is becoming a doctor. That had to be just a beautiful moment. Heavenly old ignorant ass in the confessional about what he ain't never said he wanted to be just like me. I'm gonna start crying. Hell, girl, just lay your ass down. So back at the ranch, the ladies are being entertained by the same Miss Chalet lady that was the creative director for the photo shoot. She's now also performing and giving them a drag show. Well, she gives them a show. She's supposed to be a Beyonce-inspired show. After she performs, Dr. Jackie walks up and says, yeah, can you tell me how to get some hips like that? Now, she's standing there just looking, because is this a trick question? So one of them in the background, I don't know if it was Phaedra or Toya, I don't know who it was. One of them said, you're going to have to stop all that exercise and eat you a biscuit. So they're all laughing and carrying on about, yeah, cornbread fed and all that shit. Jackie says, yeah, well, for some people, the cornbread doesn't fall in the right places. Well, motherfucker, why did you ask? You are a doctor. Go ask amongst your professional peers how to get some hips like that, girl. See, Jackie got a thing for fat shaming people, and she hides it behind being health conscious and being a doctor. No, you a mean girl with a degree. Juan said in the confessional, she ain't talking about me because this cornbread fed is sitting right. She said now who she might have been talking about is her friend Heavenly. Well, just, you know what. So the Miss Chalet lady, I guess, realizing that this shit is about to get messy, said, y'all love on each other. We're all we got. Toya said, yeah, well, we're working on forgiveness and apologies, but they're offering a bunch of empty apologies. She looked so damn uncomfortable. She said, okay, well, thank y'all. It was real nice meeting y'all, performing for y'all. Y'all have a good night. Yeah, because ain't no helping them sometimes. Well, to prove her point, Toya starts out with Dr. Jackie. She said Dr. Jackie offered Quad an empty apology. She said nobody's going to call it out because it's Dr. Jackie. She said you gave her a blank piece of paper and said, well, this is a blank check. You know, we could say we're sorry for this and we're sorry for that, but you can write in whatever you want. I'm sorry for whatever you want. Girl, just so Dr. Jackie starts to defend herself and is telling Toya that she misunderstood and misinterpreted her intentions. Toya said, no, I didn't. That's exactly how you meant it. You trying to twist it now because I'm calling it out, but you were playing in her face. So Toya took it upon herself to undo the damn apology. She told Quad there's a lot of apologies that only came to you because people didn't want it with you. Quad said, well, how could y'all not want it with me when y'all were the ones who ganged up on me? Basically what she's saying is we knew we needed you for this show. You bring an element of youthfulness and fun, and we need that element. Otherwise, this is going to be some boring bullshit. So we going to try to go along to get along. We going to play in your face and say we sorry, and then we going to get in the group chat and talk about how we don't like you. Quad goes on to say, y'all tried to bury me. Dr. Smo said, we did not try to bury you. Quad said, yes, she did. She said, y'all drew blood at the table. Then when y'all couldn't take me down at the table, you called me to that room to jab me some more until I bled out and there was nothing left. Toya said, you bled out and had nothing left. Quad said, look, now you know I'm being dramatic. Just follow me. In this moment, Toya irks my damn nerves. Cause you bled out. You bled, damn bitch, that's deep. And she, with all that damn cackling and laughing. She's so childish. Like, even listening to Toya laugh, she sounds like Bart Simpson. She gets on my nerves. You know exactly what this woman is saying. Y'all kept going and kept going and kept going until you could get some kind of a reaction, or until she was hurt to your satisfaction. Like, please go play in hell. So now Quad and Toya are going back and forth, and Toya is, oh, Quad, you just go so deep, and oh, you had nothing inside. She said, yes, I was hurt. Toya said, well, understandably, but you need to understand that you hurt other people. This is my problem with them when it comes to Quad. What they will do is when Quad got them dead to right, they move the goalpost. Rather than say, yeah, you know what, we did kind of handle you a certain way. Or yeah, you know, maybe it was a lot. Or if it was one of us that were in your shoes, that would have been overwhelming. That was a little bit overbearing. It was too much. Rather than do that, it goes from, yeah, you do have a right to be hurt. Well, you hurt other people. Well, you have an attitude sometimes too. Well, there's no accountability whatsoever. They get on my nerves. So they decide to sit down and have dinner and discuss whatever their issues are over dinner. And as soon as they sit down, here comes Simone over to Quad with that condescending doctoral tone about Quad. You have to be willing to see someone's issues other than your own. Could you go see hell? Quad said, I don't have a problem with seeing or hearing other people's perspectives. She said, I was trying to do that when y'all were hurling questions at me left and right, not giving a damn what the answers were, because you already had a preconceived notion. You wanted to hear what you wanted to hear, and if I wasn't falling in line with what y'all wanted to hear, it was get that bitch out of here. And Simone starts, that's not true. That's not true. Quad said, I'm just telling you how I felt. Well, Simone can sit up here and say, that's not true, but the record reflects that it is. Y'all called that lady into a whole meeting to say nobody here likes you. Nobody here has an emotional connection to you. And unless you can tell us how or why we should, you need to leave. I can't. Simone is steady, that's not true, that's not true. And if we can't grow, we can't evolve, that's not true. And then goes on in the confessional to start explaining why she has not apologized to Quad. So Quad needs to grow, Quad needs to evolve, Quad needs to see other people's perspectives, Quad needs to offer apologies, but you got excuses when it's time for you to do the same. Go to hell. Toya said, nobody at this table had the mentality of get that out of here. Nobody even really wanted you to leave. Quad said, but y'all told me to leave. I'm sorry, but for me, this is the point at which we get past the lack of accountability and we arrive at the lack of character, at the lack of moral, at the lack of any honesty. Like, y'all are the most dishonest group of people to sit up in this woman's face and say nobody wanted you to leave when y'all had a whole season that was surrounding asking her to leave a goddamn and as soon as Quad started saying, y'all asked me to leave, and nobody stood up and said, nobody wants you to leave, nobody said this bullshit you're saying now, Toya moves the goalpost. Well, when have you ever stood up for anybody? Quad said, can I finish? Can I finish the point that I was making? No, because you're making too much sense. And that's the problem with this group. When you start to make too much sense, don't nobody want to talk no more. And I wish Quad would have said that to her. Quad took the bait instead and started explaining, well, I have stood up for people. I stood up for Heavenly. No, if you want to catch somebody up in the bush, stop them. Stop them right there in the middle of it. No, didn't you just ask me a question? Wasn't I answering that question? Now, the answer may not be to your satisfaction. It may not play into your scheme or your narrative, but this is the answer. And you're going to allow me to finish, or we're not going to be able to move forward in this conversation because we're not communicating. What's happening now is you're talking at me. And when I attempt to communicate with you, you cut off my communication to talk at me some more. I don't play these games. Now, Contessa's so goddamn self-absorbed about, well, when you stood up for Heavenly, that was against me, right? Could you shut the fuck up? She can't see from any perspective other than me in the middle. Well, Toya picked up the alley-oop from Contessa and moved the goalpost again. She said, well, Contessa just said she didn't feel like you stood up for her. So now it ain't about whether you stood up for anybody. It's about who specifically you stood up for. And because you stood up for Heavenly, that disqualifies you. Man, go to hell. So now Contessa's going on about how Quad defended Heavenly, but Contessa was there for Quad when the group ambushed her before, because this is just what they do. They always ambushing this damn girl, trying to get her out the group. And I'm pretty sure that if there weren't a check attached to this motherfucker, she'd have been gone a long time ago. And that's their problem. They don't want her in their community making money. And then here comes Sweet Tea, always looking for a motherfucking apology about, well, yeah, I do feel like you and Heavenly ambushed me on social media after you got your ignorant ass on the internet when nobody knew you about you want to do a home tour and I'm going to improve this home. And yeah, the last wife did this and it was stale and this isn't all that cute. And I don't know what the hell you did with that house because I don't see no damn improvements. But you got your ass on the internet talking all kinds of shit, unsolicited shit, unprovoked shit. And now you feel like you were ambushed. Ambush hell. Quad gave the bitch what she was looking for. She said, pay attention. Listen close. You listening? I apologize because I did mimic you. I mimicked your voice and I apologize about that. Sweet Tea said, but why are you so aggressive? Read the room. When Sweet Tea said, why are you so angry with it? Quad said, it's not you. She said, then what is it? Toya said, it's everything right now. If Toya got to tell you to read the room, like read the room. So next thing you know, this whole argument takes a left turn up Schitt's Creek. They get to arguing about Contessa and Sweet Tea's friendship. Heavenly tells Contessa that Quad told her that Contessa told Quad that her friendship with Sweet Tea is fake. So now Contessa's ready to escalate off the deep end. She's carrying on about, she said, Quad said, I told her that my friendship with Sweet Tea is fake. Now, Quad's sitting there looking like, now, you know you told me that shit. So Quad starts explaining what she did say. Quad said, I said you told me you didn't know her, you were getting to know her, you didn't really understand her. Contessa cut her off and said, no, did you say what she said? She telling you what she said, Contessa, but you don't want her to tell you what she said, because for her to tell you what she said, she gonna have to tell the table what you said. She's gonna have to explain exactly what she was paraphrasing. That's the shit you don't want out. You don't want her to say what you was really saying about your friendship with Sweet Tea. Because I believe that. I believe it's something. I don't really know this girl. I don't really put it like that. I'm going to just hang out with her and get to know her. I mean, what could it hurt? Because Contessa was trying to come back to the show. And because you do have contention in the relationships that you did have on the show. She probably decided, I'm going to go ahead and just hang out with this little girl a little while, see if I can get to know her and build me an alliance. So Contessa leans over into Heavenly's face and starts screaming about, so who's the liar? You or her? You or her? Heavenly got up and said, don't put your finger in my face. And that is a deflection tactic. Contessa is doing that shit so she don't get exposed for the shit that she was saying. She don't want to be exposed for the fact that she ain't nobody's friend either. That you didn't have any real good intentions for Sweet Tea. You just over there rubbing elbows with that girl. And really, more than building an alliance, you probably just siphoning information out of her so that whenever she hits the fan, I got some shit to hit you with. So, true to Heavenly's form, as she's getting up to leave from the table, she told Contessa, go do this shit with your husband, because that's who you mad at. I see, yep, it's about to get started now. So now, they really going at it. They up screaming at each other. The ladies are trying to keep them separated. And you hear Contessa say to Heavenly, so you think my husband is abusive? Heavenly said, yes, I do. Contessa said, oh, you do? And Sweet Tea comes out of nowhere from the sidelines about, well, I think you're abusive. Heavenly said, shut up. Ain't nobody even talking to you. Now, I get Contessa being upset because Heavenly is her friend, or was her friend, that she confided in about very, very personal matters. And Heavenly took what she shared with her in confidence and shared it publicly with the internet for entertainment. And so I totally get that Contessa feels a way in regard to Heavenly and how the friendship has gone and basically how she handled the information that I shared with her. I totally get all of that. However, all of that aside, Contessa and Scott demonstrated a relationship to us that I think any damn body would call to some degree unhealthy. The last time that Scott and Contessa were on this show, I think it's fair to say that the public was scared for Contessa, that the public was very uncomfortable with what we saw transpire between Contessa and Scott. And no, nobody saw Scott, put his hands on his wife or do anything that, you can convict on or some shit like that. But all of the flags were there. All the flags were flying. And even the way that Contessa handled it and tried to do damage control about everything screams cycle of abuse. On one hand, I get her being upset about Heavenly's betrayal. But on the other hand, you can't get upset that you brought your dysfunctional marriage to TV, put it on display for everybody to watch and assess, and everybody came up with the same assessment that this is unhealthy at best and abusive at worst. You can't get mad at that assessment. That's what it is. Now, if you don't like that assessment, if you don't like the perception that people have of your marriage, go fix it. And if you think there's nothing to fix, then leave it alone. But don't get mad at the world for smelling shit and saying it stinks. Well, Contessa started reading Heavenly her rights and all her family drama. She said, you ain't even got no damn friends. The friends you do have in your life, you have to buy, and the only one you got is your daughter, and you bought her. Remember, you had to go buy her that beauty supply store that did not work. Now, Heavenly and her daughter been down to the internet this week clearing all that up. Heavenly and her daughter was down to the internet saying that stuff that Contessa is saying is not true, that Heavenly did not buy this beauty supply store to buy her daughter. It was an investment, a business investment, generational wealth, I guess. And Heavenly said she makes off of one patient what that store makes in a month. So it didn't make sense for her to be down there trying to run the store. She gave it to her daughter to run. The daughter made lots of money. The daughter has to go off to school. So I don't know if the store is still open or it's not open, and maybe that's why it's not open. I don't know. All I know is they down to the internet saying Contessa full of shit. Well, Contessa didn't stop there. She said none of your kids like you. Your husband don't like you. That's why y'all have to sleep in separate bedrooms, girl. Emily said that your husband is abusive. Contessa said, what does your husband do? At least I ain't got to worry about no mixed babies out here with the possible last name of Kimes. What? Now the other ladies in the confessional saying, now this too far. Now we don't believe that. We don't believe Damon got no mixed babies out here. So now they really screaming, fighting, carrying on. Heavenly tits coming all out her dress. They trying to get her clothes back on her. They screaming back and forth at each other. Now Contessa is arguing with Quad about, I don't know why y'all take Heavenly's side or why y'all have her back, because she just lied on you and said that you told her I said that me and Sweet Tea have a fake friendship. Well, Quad just looked around and walked off. Contessa said, unless you said that, did you say that, Quad? Now, as Contessa is trying to argue with every damn body, here comes her sidekick Sweet Tea, just a stuttering and mumbling about you always trying to put somebody in your stuff. Heavenly said, shut your ass up. She said the reason y'all bond together is because both of y'all got husbands that ain't shit. Just see, Sweet Tea, sit this one out. If you gonna engage with a bitch that don't give a, make sure you are fully trained, okay, to not give a, you got to be willing to go head up and toe to toe with a bitch like Heavenly. All that bunch of stuttering, uttering, and muttering. No, you got to come with your head up, chest out, your 10 toes to the ground, talking cash shit. But I mean, we in a new year, and so I don't encourage that. I think the best thing to do would be to disengage and remove yourself, to not allow someone like Heavenly to pull you out of your bag. But I'm just saying, if you're feeling a little nostalgic and you want to pop out a bag, that's How you do? Now, for once, I agree with Toya. Toya is off to the side at the table. Toya said, I absolutely refuse to indulge in this bullshit. Ain't nobody trying to fight me. This ain't got nothing to do with me. Ain't nobody dragging my husband and accusing him of having outside babies and whooping my ass. So I'm going to sit my ass here and mind my business because this is some bullshit. Now Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone, they trying to separate these bitches. Simone said, I love my job as an OBGYN. I never signed up to be nobody's damn bouncer, but here we are. Jackie over there trying to stop Heavenly, looking like all her childhood trauma is triggered. She about to have a whole breakdown about please stop. Sweet Tea must have finally realized she is useless in all this shit. She went sat her ass back down and ate her food. Heavenly says to Contessa, your problem is your husband is a cheater and you know it. Contessa said, well, here's my thing. What does that have to do with you? I said, well, wait a damn minute now. I was waiting on Contessa to call her a bald-headed scallywag ass lie. But to say, what does that have to do with you? Heavenly said it ain't got shit to do with me. Contessa said, then why are you so mad? She said, I'm not mad. I am a little bit. You are too many things and too much of those too many things to be letting some man cheat on you. I don't give a damn who he is. I don't give a damn how much education he got, what kind of career he's supposed to have. I don't give a damn that he's supposed to be the father of your children. I don't give a shit. You don't let no man run over you. You are too much woman for that bullshit thing. And honestly, I believe that's what's going on. I believe Scott is stepping out. Contessa knows about it. They're trying to keep a united front and keep up this image of a happy family. And inside, she's losing it. And you know, listen, I sit up here and I talk cash by all of them for the most part, but I absolutely respect each and every one of these women. Contessa can have any man she wants. Even if she weren't a doctor, even if she didn't have a military background, and even if she didn't have all these goals and ambitions, and she is gorgeous. She's a beautiful, smart, successful, charismatic woman. You can have anything in this life you want to have, and it ain't got to be no cheating ass, disrespectful ass, hippity hop, rapping like he a 1983 ass man. So Toya's trying to rally them back together and say, hey, the people bringing out the food. I don't know if y'all expect us to be able to eat together after y'all done torn each other to smither goddamn reams, but the food is here if y'all would like to do anything civilized. So they go to sit down to the table, and Heavenly is carrying on about, I gave Contessa the best advice she ever got. She took the advice and got mad at me. She said, I told the girl, if you gonna stay with your husband while he doing whatever he doing, don't bash him in public. Shut the fuck up. So while they going back and forth about Heavenly telling Contessa to don't be bashing the man in public if you just gonna stay with him while he doing all the shit he doing in private, I don't know what Contessa said to Heavenly, but Heavenly jumped her ass up and said, your mama's stupid. Contessa said, my mama that died in 2010? I said, yeah, they about to turn the table over. Contessa is looking at Heavenly in disbelief. She said, my mama who died in 2010 is stupid? Heavenly said, yes, that's what I said. Girl, Phaedra is in the confessional explaining for the white people. She said, in case y'all don't understand, there's just certain things you don't do. And in black culture, one of those certain things is talking about somebody's mama. Now, we will beat your ass for talking about our living mama. Her passed on mama. Oh yeah, this shit about to get bad. So now Contessa has absolutely lost it. The ladies are trying to restrain her. She breaks loose. She is charging toward Heavenly about square up hoe. Heavenly is screaming for security. God. Child security finally shows up on the scene, and Heavenly been on the internet talking shit about that. But she was calling for security. They were nowhere to be found by his ass somewhere eating ice cream and shit. That's probably why they didn't come. They were probably right there. They probably heard you screaming. They saw everything escalating. They was going to let you get knocked around a little bit because you talk entirely too much shit. So episode 5 starts to wrap up with them finally getting the ladies separated. Jackie gets Heavenly off to the side. Toya starts fussing with Heavenly about you ain't innocent. You over here about she said this and she said that. Just shut the fuck up because you are an equal contributor to this bullshit. Meanwhile, Contessa's off to the other side, mad with the rest of the group because she feels like they defended Heavenly to any degree. Toya approaches Contessa and she starts saying, y'all were going too far. Well, Contessa starts flying off the handle again. Contessa's carrying on about, no, she started, and Toya said, no, it started before that. It started before she said your mama. And the episode ended with Contessa walking off, saying she going back to her room, and in the confessional, she's saying she came to the table ready ready to resolve, but if this is what friendship looks like in this group, then this is not the group for her. So of course that leads us right into episode 6, this week's episode, where the episode starts out with them finally getting them separated. Dr. Jackie has Dr. Heavenly off in a golf cart. She's trying to tell Heavenly to shut the hell up. Dr. Jackie said, not even I can defend you this time. You're on your own. Good luck. Quad, Simone, and Phaedra said they worked them up an appetite. They sat their ass down and ate their dinner after that damn show. Toya, Sweet Tea, and Contessa said they were entirely too disgusted to eat. They don't understand how they could sit down and eat after all that. Well, I mean, being in the middle of a WWE match will work up an appetite. Now, on the way back to their rooms, Contessa is saying to Sweet Tea and Toya that she doesn't mind Heavenly being there, but stop making excuses for Heavenly's behavior. She said she's over the whole mind screw of when Heavenly gets upset, she just goes to hell and starts dragging people's mamas, and that's supposed to be normal and acceptable. So they're talking about it back in the room, and Toya is saying that Heavenly grew up hurt. She said Heavenly didn't really have a relationship with her mom at the time that her mom passed away. She doesn't have a relationship with her sister, and she can barely keep a relationship with any of her friends. And all of that roots back to the issue of the relationship with her mother. And I'm not trying to disrespect anybody's deceased mother, but when you hear Heavenly explain their family dynamic as being, her mom basically obstructed her sister and made sure to help her in a way that she did not help her sister, it's very telling of the kind of person or mother that she was. I think Heavenly is repeating what she saw growing up. Any mother who can obstruct their own child's success is most likely also a vicious person in an argument. They are probably willing to go to depths and lengths that other people are not willing to go to. They will probably say anything to hurt you or to win the argument. And so this is just my speculation. I could be wrong, and I'm not trying to disrespect anybody's deceased mother. But I don't think Heavenly is the way she is out of nowhere. I think Heavenly learned this behavior. I think Heavenly saw this kind of viciousness demonstrated. I think Toya hit it on the head. I think Heavenly is molded and deeply impacted by the relationships that she had with women growing up, especially her mother and her sister. And that's how she shows up in relationship with women today. Contessa said the thing is, Heavenly seems to get some sort of pleasure out of the pain that she brings to people. Toya said, I think it's more a thing of when she gets to a place of anger, her mouth becomes lethal. She will say anything, and that's a problem. Because you can't just go around saying the lowest, nastiest, dirtiest, belowest, the beltest shit you can think of, and then come back with an empty apology the next day and say, well, I said sorry to everybody. I mean, we were arguing. I was mad. Words have impact, as much impact or more as physical contact. So there are certain things that you say to people that are effectively like punching them in the face. Like, you can't just say anything you want to say and think it's all good because you said sorry. Toya is saying that Jackie is the only person that Heavenly listens to. And Sweet Tea and Contessa said, well, then Jackie should be saying more. She should be helping to wrangle Heavenly's ass. If you know you're the only person that she listens to and you know how unruly she is, why wouldn't she be stepping in? Well, that's because Heavenly is an outward expression of Jackie's inward feelings. Jackie is just quiet. I don't know why, I think people have this perception of Jackie that she's sweet and she's nice and she's kind and she's gentle. She's just quiet. So back at the dinner table, doctors, Jackie and Heavenly go join the ladies to eat their food. Well, Quad said, Heavenly, before you get deep off into your plate, let me say something to you real quick. You were out of line. That was too much to be that mama comment. That was too far, and that was just not okay. Heavenly still wouldn't take accountability. Heavenly said, I wasn't thinking about that girl, mama. You know what I meant. I mean, I get it, but y'all know what I was saying, girl. Dr. Jackie claims that she's just frustrated with her friends, so she's going to lead this impromptu intervention. And she asked, are there any issues that we need to discuss or address at this time? Quad said, well, I want to know about what Toya said earlier. Did you just apologize to me to pacify me? Dr. Jackie said, no, I meant what I said, but when she asked about Nap, or I guess when she started asking about specific issues or specific events, she said, that's when I said, you know what, I'm going to basically write you a blank check. any and everything that I may have done to you or wronged you, or any way in which I wronged you, I want to be sorry for. So Quad starts getting emotional, and she starts explaining that when they came up against her, it really, really hurt her. They have no idea what kind of toll it took on her, how she wasn't sleeping, she wasn't eating, she lost weight, and she just broke down crying about how hurt she was because she really cares about them, and that during that time, not a single one of them picked up the phone and called her. So Heavenly steps in to say, I know, Quad, we were wrong. I'm sorry, we were wrong. And she is just boohoo crying. Meanwhile, Simone is just sitting there looking around, and Phaedra's cutting her eye to the side. She's in the confessional, but I don't know what else we can do. I don't know what Quad wants. I don't know if she wants us to give her a kidney. I don't know what she wants from us. I want you to be quiet. That's what I want from you. Heavenly asked Quad, how can we make it better? How can we fix it? And Quad said, don't ever do me like that again. I care about y'all, man. So Simone said, well, here's my problem. Because, yeah, everything went down in Napa, and we recovered from Napa. Me and you had got better. But then, next thing I know, after we fixed it, I got back on the merry-go-round and getting kicked out of your life. Quad said, well, hold on now, because if we gonna tell it, we gonna tell it all. The reason you got back on this merry-go-round of getting kicked out of my life is that after we made up after Napa, you brought your country up to that reunion and was talking about you ain't had no business talking about during that reunion. Simone said, you right, I was dead wrong. I had no right saying that shit. Very good. So that would lead us then to the conclusion that the merry-go-round you speak of, you put yourself on. So Quad is very tearful, and she's saying, you hurt me, and I'm not trying to bring y'all down, but this life is not easy. And Dr. Simone is saying in the confessional that whatever is going on with Quad is not necessarily about Napa. It's bigger than Napa. She said, but seeing her in this kind of pain and seeing her in the pain that she was in last year makes her feel horrible. And, I just find it interesting that it takes Quad breaking down the way that she broke down for their sympathy or empathy to be triggered. It gives. We need to see you break down in order to accept you. So next thing you know, Dr. Jackie starts praying, and she's praying for God to help Quad release whatever is going on in her heart. I just find it interesting and to some degree hypocritical that they could, Father God, heal Quad's heart and help her to let it go, but not, Father God, forgive me. Not, Father God, please remove this pride that would keep me from being able to apologize to my friend or someone I called a friend for how I treated them. Not, Father God, help me to be accountable. Help me to fill in the deficits in my character that would need to see somebody break down in order to accept them. It's all my Lord, heal her, fix her, set her heart free, Lord. Release her from the strongholds, Lord. I don't know, maybe I'm triggered, but one thing about church folk is they will do everything but take accountability and apologize. Well, they say they prayers wipe Quad's tears and they go to bed. Just wrap this shit up. They move on to the next day. Everybody's trying to move on and enjoy their own activities. We see Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Jackie, and Quad at the pool, and Dr. Jackie is talking about how she's planning the next Met Gala. But of course, the conversation makes its way back around to the issue between the ladies, and Quad is saying that she feels like she and Dr. Simone really made some progress with their relationship, and she would like to just leave it there. Well, Dr. Heavenly said the same could be true for her and Contessa, but communication is required for that, and she don't know that Contessa is capable of communication. Heavenly said, I'm sure that there are things that both of us need to communicate to the other. There are things that both of us need to get off of our chest. But if you go away for 2 years and come back angry and violent, how are we supposed to handle anything? Now, we see Contessa talking to Phaedra about it, and she's saying that Heavenly knows that her mother passed away. Heavenly knows how sensitive that is to Contessa, so Heavenly knew she would get a reaction by saying that. Meanwhile, back at the poolside, Heavenly is telling Jackie and Quad that she does know the history of Contessa's mother, and she does know that she was dead wrong. She said, I have a tendency that when I get in a bind, I like to go low and tell people your mama, and I know it's wrong. The problem is, you can't keep doing it and then apologize after the fact. Oh, I know it's so wrong. Heavenly goes on to say she can own it, and she really does know how wrong it is because she knows how it feels. And Dr. Jackie said, well, how do you know how it feels? Quad said, because you didn't like it. when Sweet Tea told you your mama was in hell, did you? And when Heavenly's mom passed away, Toya said she had never dealt with the mom passing away, so she don't know how that feels, and she really don't give a damn. So we cut back to Atlanta, and we see the guys getting together to hang out. We see Cecil, Dr. Scott, and Dr. G. After they go four-wheeling or whatever the hell they out there getting dirty doing, they sit around to catch up. And Cecil is asking Scott, how's business going? He said business is going good, but I'm trying to, kind of work my way into being in the office more like Contessa is. And he's in the confessional or on some clip saying that his favorite thing about practicing with his wife is that he's able to leave her to run the practice while he goes to the gym. You're at the gym, all right. I got to work out for that ass. He said Contessa's at their practice about 70% of the time versus him being there about 40% of the time. I said, now, this is just trifling at the highest level. Like, you go through as much as you go through to become all you gonna become. You go through all the educations and trials and tribulations of becoming a doctor and becoming a wife and having a family and establishing a practice, only to realize you got a half-ass partner that wants to put in half-ass effort even at the highest level. Just, that 70-40 shit, we ain't doing that. I'm the type to tell you real quick, maybe I need to go get me a real business partner and you can just be my man. Meanwhile, over at Toya and Eugene's house, we see Eugene hosting Damon. They're gonna have a one-on-one where Eugene is going to try to get to the bottom of Damon and what's going on with him and the guys. So Eugene starts out with Damon explaining that this whole conversation, this meeting was inspired by the dinner that the guys had a few nights before, a few weekends before. I don't know when they had that damn dinner. But he was saying that the guys are normally the voice of reason within this group, but now there's an abnormal amount of tension. So Eugene says to Damon, I'm not trying to come down on you, but I feel like when we had the conversation and Greg brought up what his concerns were with Heavenly, I feel like he felt dismissed. Damon said, did he tell you that? Eugene said, no, he didn't tell me that. He said, that's just my gut instinct. That's what I believe based on what I observed. I think he's that hurt. Damon said, well, I respect him being hurt, but at the same time, as a guy, if you got something to say to somebody, just say it. Heavenly and Damon are two peas in a damn pod. They don't give a damn about nobody's feelings. It's a waste of damn time to try to talk to Damon about how anybody feels about how his wife behaves, because he don't give a damn. Long as she ain't talking about nothing I'm doing, long as she's telling y'all I'm a good man and a good husband and a good father and a good doctor, I don't give a damn what she do. Eugene suggested it might be a good idea that Damon and Greg should get together and talk about the issue or hash out the issue. Damon said in the confessional that he doesn't follow the prompts of the other guys. He moves as he feels fit. In other words, hell no, I ain't going to dinner. I don't give a damn about this. So we cut back over to the ladies who are still at this ranch on the longest girls trip ever. This just is 3 episodes of them fighting and carrying on a girls trip. Now at this point, they're all getting along better. Simone and Quad in each other's face, but are we going to kiss on the lips so we ain't there yet? And I think that might be part of the problem, y'all. Telling what y'all been doing in the dark, y'all done broke up. Now y'all carrying on in our face and shit. Now they taking shots and doing liquor tastings, and I had to take one too to get through the rest of this. So the ladies all sit around the bonfire to wrap up their trip. And Contessa offers everyone apologies because I forgot that her and Phaedra was supposed to be the host of this trip. She said, and if there was an expectation of any level of maturity, I absolutely failed that. Well, no sooner than Contessa offers apologies, Simone speaks up to say, well, I don't know what triggered what, but half of us were absolutely miserable. We don't know what was going on. Contessa said, now you about to piss me off because, see, you can sit here and say, oh, we don't know what triggered what. We don't know what happened. We don't know how that all occurred. She said, but y'all sat there and watched Heavenly be heavenly like Heavenly does. Phaedra said, listen, last night was last night and tonight is tonight. Y'all ain't gonna last night tonight. Everybody was pretty much in agreement since we all done showed our S's. Yeah, we ain't doing that again tonight. Sweet Tea is the opposite of fast. They all agree to not have this disagreement. She gonna speak up, but Heavenly, you agree to hold the insults, right? They all look like, bitch, I know you lying. We got Heavenly and Contessa to shut the fuck up at the same time, and you just gonna keep on stirring the pot? Shut your ass up. Phaedra closed them out with a prayer, and they took their asses home. Thank you. Good riddance. Bye. So we move on. All the ladies are back in Atlanta. We see Contessa at home catching up with Scott, telling him everything that happened on the trip because he said he got a call from Curtis asking what the hell is going on with your wife. She out there sacking the quarterback. So Contessa breaks down the details of what happened, and she said that Heavenly kept trying to throw in her face that you're miserable with your husband and insinuating that basically you're abusive. And Scott said, why would she insinuate something like that? As much as they've hung out with us, she's even seen that when we get into a conversation, if I don't agree, I'll just walk away. I'll just go downstairs. I don't even say anything. Contessa said exactly, which pisses me off. You have an avoidant personality, and that's what she's calling abusive. See, and this is what people are talking about, because Contessa takes these offhand opportunities to express whatever discontent she has about something going on in her marriage. Of course, Contessa goes on to share the comments that Heavenly made in regard to her mother. Scott is shocked, and Contessa said there is no moving forward for her and Heavenly. So we move on to Dr. Jackie's house, where she, a party planner, and Phaedra are getting together to plan this Met Gala. And apparently she needs Phaedra because she's added a charitable element to this whole Met Gala, where she now has a goal of raising $25,000. Well, Phaedra says she specialized in getting the money. She said if she can't do else, she can raise some money. Give her a second, let her get on the phone and make some phone calls. Well, she called herself calling somebody in front of them. I'll be damned if they didn't answer. Phaedra, don't let us find out you still running schemes and scams and shit. And it looks like we'll find out if she was able to get anybody to answer next week when they actually have this Met Gala, and see if anybody with any money shows up. But that's it. That's all. And I ain't got no more. Thank you so much for coming down here, listening to me, and let me get this off my chest. I truly appreciate y'all, because I'm almost done putting this thing together. I know I didn't finish. Just don't judge me. Y'all, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you've not already. And in the meantime, until next time, just like every time, y'all know I love you and I mean it. Bye.